Evening, freaks. I'm here to give Aries a read straight from the hip with lots of lip, and we're going to be looking at what's on deck for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, Mercury, Mars, or loaded first house stellium, three or more planets in that first house, or one of those strong placements like I just mentioned. This read is for you. We're going to see what's on deck for you in February. And this is a timeless read. We're bringing in this download for the month of February, but these messages can play out over the long term. I did get an initial download coming in for you, and that's that you're about to make an important decision after a period of time where you kind of blocked your energy off. I feel like you took some space for yourself. You put some things on hold. You may have actually blocked somebody out of your life. You may have cut off communication. You may have felt like this person was bringing some kind of confusion, some kind of disorientation, some type of complication to your life, and you felt the need to extricate yourself so you could just get some clarity and get back in touch with yourself, get really rooted in your power. I feel like you're about to move out of that energy of sort of holding yourself back, and you're going to move forward in the direction that you're aligning with now. And I feel that this is a very empowering move for you. I feel that this is also the beginning of a whole new way of you moving through the world. I think that you're about to make a choice that really has you leveling up in terms of overcoming what's held you back in the past. And it's a beautiful thing, man. I see you doing your victory lap, feeling really good about yourself, feeling confident, and having other people recognize your growth too. I think this is something that's going to feel really good to you, and it has you just going to a whole other level in life. Bottom of the deck energy, we have the Queen of Pentacles. We see you very focused on really growing financially, building a solid foundation for yourself. I feel that a lot of this is also coming through emotionally, trying to really think of what anchors you emotionally, what gives you strength emotionally. Um, you could also be dealing with somebody that has a strong earth sign placement in their chart. So that would be for any significant placement, sun, moon, rising, Venus, North Node, Mercury, Mars, loaded house. Okay. And so we're looking at the energies of Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn with that. All right. Maybe you have one of these signs strongly aspected in your chart. This is also that Taurus North Node energy of what we're moving into collectively, and will come to its fruition in July, at which point the nodes will change, the nodes of destiny. And this is very significant because that Taurus North Node is moving you into that position of holding down that fort, okay, come July. So it's going to come into Aries. And so this is really about you spinning fate into destiny. You had a raw hand that you got dealt in some cases. You've been dealing with some challenges. You've been feeling frustrated. You've been feeling held back. You've also been feeling very unclear, unable to make up your mind with a real, solid direction forward. No matter what plan you've come up with, there's been something that's been just a little off about it. And I feel like you're finally coming to that place of enlightenment. Oh, that's interesting. I was going to say alignment, but enlightenment wanted to come out. And I'm sort of like tripping over my words, which is really interesting. So maybe there's some kind of communication that's been held back, or there's something that needs to be communicated, but you haven't really been enlightened about what needed to be said. Maybe there was some truth you needed to recognize first before you could issue this communication. Maybe the truth has been obscured, and now the lights are kind of coming on in the room and you're getting a lay of the land. This is informing your choices moving forward, but there was this need to kind of pull the energy back, okay? I also see that you're really focused on continuing to preserve the stability you've created for yourself. You don't want to court anything that's going to throw off your foundation. You know that anything that you want to bring into your future, it has to have a strong foundation underneath it. And I think that you're looking at some situations in the past in the way there wasn't the proper foundation laid. Maybe this is what caused problems. Maybe this is what caused confusion. And so you're starting to be really mindful about this. This is very important to you, but there is some important choice that you are making, and you're about to make it. And I think it's going to be one of those moments when you really hit the ball out of the park, so to speak. Okay. So we are going to be doing a zodiac wheel spread. We're going to look at 12 different areas of life. And this is just working with the energy that's here right now in February at this time that I'm doing this reading. This reading is timeless, though. Okay. So as you listen to this read, just tune into the energies, see how they're speaking to you, flip-flop roles as you need to, understand cross-watch your energy can come in. Your intuition will let you know who I'm talking about, who the message is speaking to. So always refer back to what you're picking up from the read. That is so, so important. I am going to shuffle on camera, all right? And we're going to just get on into it. I do have channeled messages that often come through while I'm shuffling. So I will have timestamps up after this airs, but I have to let it play out first before I can have access to the comments to do that for you all and pin them there. But I encourage you, if you have the time, like drop in for the shuffling, because you can miss some important tidbits that can really be helpful in navigating the train up ahead. That being said, let's just dive into it. I'm marking this down at 6:44 for the shuffling. So we got big like alignment of purpose happening right now, where you haven't really felt clear before about what your next steps and what they should be, where you've kind of been going from one extreme to the other and weighing out your options. I think you're finally about to, set your sights on one central focus, and you're going to get things moving. You're going to aim that wand, the magician's wand, and you're going to initiate an action. I don't know. Maybe you're aiming a wand at somebody. Maybe somebody's got their wand aimed at you, okay? Maybe there's some fire that's getting ready to start. Maybe there's some fire that's already been burning and it's getting a little hot to handle. Maybe things are getting hot under the collar. Interesting messages to come in, all right? But we're just going to dive right into it, and we're going to shuffle for Aries collective. Where is Aries going to be at? How are they going to be feeling? Show me what is going on with Aries. Well, this is everything we talked about. I don't even need to shuffle more for that. That's pretty strong right out the gate. Okay. Very important, very monumental energy operating in your life right now, Aries. Things are definitely about to get moving, and they're about to get moving in a very powerful way. All right. So a lot of fated experiences coming into your life right now, a lot of destiny weaving through your connections, your interactions, your dreams, all of this coming in. What does the area of finances look like for Aries collective in February? What does finances look like for Aries collective? Okay. Right there. There might need to be some kind of communication around finances. I'm just noticing, I'm feeling like blockage in the throat chakra as that came in, right? It did look like it was sort of heading in a position of like a decision needs to be made here. Something needs to be hashed out, okay? Because it was trying to turn into almost like a crossing position. So that could be that there's potentially forces, working for or against you in the area of finances. And so this might be something you want to pay attention to, okay? You are going to be taking over that North Node. Right now, North Node is in Taurus. Maybe there's a Taurus connection that has something to do with finances. I also see this being a matter of you knowing your worth, understanding your value, and how that factors in to play with that Taurus North Node destiny. Because you're going to be taking over that spot, and that's when you're going to take, real powerful initiation in your life. New cycle of destiny is beginning for you in July, Aries. So that's pretty significant. There's some piece of this. It's all tying together. I don't know why that's coming in, but it is. And it's important, so it bears mentioning. What does the area of communication have in store for Aries collective? What does the area of communication have in store for Aries collective? Okay. A lot coming out there. This deck is really hard to shuffle. It's already really worn in, The cards are all bent, but this was the deck that was calling for you. Maybe it's kind of where you're at. You're like, yeah, I'm a little worse for the wear at this point. I've been through a lot, but I still got it in me. I still got it in me. I want to move forward. Interesting. Maybe something needs to be communicated around that. Okay. Let's see. Going the distance, I just heard. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and add that here because I didn't even get to mention the next pile. Okay. What's coming up at the place of the fourth house, the home? What's going on the home front? All right. Came out pretty quickly. What's going on for Aries collective in the area of romance and pleasure? Okay, something came out right away. Came out and flew on top of that communication house. So there might be a connection there, something that's being communicated from the heart. All right. What's coming up in the area of work and routine for Aries collective? What's coming up in the area of work routine for Aries collective? Oh, this flipped right up. All right, that looks like a little bit of a hassle. Looks like a little gridlock there. Okay, what's coming up in the area of, oh, okay. I wanted to come out. I'm going to go ahead and put it there. What's coming up in the area of love? What's coming up in the area of love? Committed relationships, marriage. All right, we got something on the move here. Okay, what is coming up in the area of sex, death, transformation? All right, got something right there. Some decision to make here, okay, on that 8th house of Scorpio, right? Some kind of shadowy terrain that you're navigating there, okay? You're kind of at a crossroads there. Whoa. All right, I'm going to take that. It flipped up for just as I said that. I just got, sometimes, you got to be careful. You're not making a deal with the devil, right? Just came in. So I'm going to speak to it. Big crossroads energy around that. Big crossroads energy. And for those who are on an occult path, I don't know if somebody did a little work at the crossroads. Piper might need to be paid, okay? That energy just coming on through, so I'm going to speak to it. Ted's being pretty vocal. Do you need to go out, Ted? Do you need to go out? All right. Maybe somebody wants out of a contract they made at the crossroads, all right? Something interesting to look at there. All right. What is coming up in the area of travel, expansion, spirituality? Okay, another crossroads issue, right? It's got a little bit, this theme has been coming in for the collective recently. So, you're no exception to this. It's big, like angel on one shoulder, devil on the other, better the devil, that kind of energy, and sort of hedging your bets, weighing things out, making some choices. The thing about these choices though, is they're dicey because they're going to have long-term impact. Because while we have you, Aries, taking over the North Node in July, we got Libra taking over the South Node, and that's karma. So it's very important, these choices we make at this time, that we understand what's motivating us, where our desires rooted, okay? This coming in for the Aries collective. What's coming up in the area of career, public image, brand, reputation? Oh, okay. That's interesting. What's coming up in the area of friends and community? Oh boy. Okay, a lot came out there. And it's interesting because it flew right over that 9th house where we were talking about hedging your bets and making a choice between the angel and the devil on the shoulder. Okay, so I think there's a connection there, right? Something going on in the community, in your friendship circle, perhaps, that's creating a moral dilemma. It's just coming in, all right? Let's see here. And what is coming up in that area of the 12th house, the blind spot, karma? Ooh. Ooh, that's spicy. Okay, so we got all the 12 houses represented, and I did add Fiacus to this site, the 13th sign in the zodiac from the Babylonian era. So we let Ophiuchus kind of hold down the 13th house, which I'm just kind of making it like the theme, the theme. And we'll get that at the end because I often feel drawn to pull in another card, right? So we are going to mark this at 1610 for getting into the read. I'm going to let Ted back in, okay? I think there might be somebody that you're letting back in, Aries. We did open up with this initial download that maybe there was somebody that you had to block. This could have been blocking communication. Maybe you went cold. This could be blocking on social media. This could be physically blocking that energy, so maybe now after you've had an opportunity to sort of get clear on where you're at, you're now ready to communicate this coming through, and this opportunity may present itself. All right. First area we're looking at is you, where you're at, what's on your mind, how you're going to be feeling. It's very clear you got your mind on your money and your money on your mind as you enter this month of February here. You're very focused on your security. You're very focused on finances and building something that will last. You're looking for long-term security. You're also, wanting something that, you can really stand on, something you can leave behind. You want a legacy. You want something that endures. If you have children, it's very important for you that you're building a solid foundation so that you can leave something behind for them that makes their life easier. This is really front and center. For a lot of you, family is a primary concern, and there is a lot of financial considerations around this. This is something that's, really at the forefront of your consciousness. And yet there's also this piece here too with the Five of Swords, and this is where some complication comes in. This may even be what the blockage energy was about. This is very much like thievery kind of energy. And it can be stealing time. It can be stealing, finances, it can be stealing energy. But in one way, shape, or form, I feel like you're dealing with something that in some way you feel rocked your stability. Or interfered with this process of arriving at this place where you really feel like, yeah, I'm secure, I'm stable, I got everything that I want, everything that I need. I'm building the kind of future I desire. I feel good about, who I'm building with, like the whole nine. 10 of Pentacles can also be a card of like serious commitment in terms of relationship. And speaking in terms of love, your mind is very much focused on who can I build with, who is solid, who can I build with. I think you feel like you had reason to question if you could trust somebody. Maybe you have had experiences in the past where people used you financially or used you for security, stability, things along these lines. And so that made you very distrusting on a certain level. You might have found yourself kind of running into kind of people that like used you a bit. There's some kind of feeling of betrayal here. Something doesn't feel right to you. Something is causing you pain. I'm noticing there's 3 people in the mix here. Okay, so I feel like this might be in relation to some kind of like third party interference. Third party interference can be many, many things. Okay. It can be many things. It can be a lover, somebody could have been having an affair. Somebody could have been entertaining a flirtation. With swords energy, I often get stuff about online, so this could be like, hitting up the DMs. Maybe this rocked stability. Maybe this affected a commitment. Okay. This can also be an interfering relative. This can be somebody who's just all up in your business. And there was this like community vibe that came through, and something to kind of deal with there, and something that could potentially be problematic on a community level, on a social group level. So this could be like a friend or some outside interference. This could be people just all up in your business, creating conflict. So there's something going on here. I think there's also been some gossip, perhaps, people talking. Maybe this has eroded the security in a situation. I feel like these are things that you're really looking at and are on your mind as you enter February. Now, we see in terms of the finances and your values. I mean, we got Wheel of Fortune. To me, this is like big jackpot energy. I think if you've been having any financial challenges, that's about to turn around for you. I think you'll start to see a real uptick, in money coming in, and maybe money you also weren't expecting, but it just kind of comes in some sort of lucky way, or maybe was more than you expected. And this gives you a little more wiggle room, I feel. I feel like a lot of you are wanting to go out and travel, and you're wanting to explore and have some fun. But you've been very focused on this like stability, securing your stability. That there's a part of you that's been a little reticent, to go out there and do anything too flashy, or that you feel is just sort of more just like pleasurable. But I feel like there's a change coming in that area. I see that you're really going to get an opportunity to experience a higher rung of the spiral. I feel like you're really moving into this place where you know your value and you know what you want to create for yourself. You are getting the financial backing you need to create that reality you want to create for yourself. There's some kind of opportunity coming in, I feel, to really up level your finances this month. This could be a career opportunity. Maybe you decide to head in a new career direction. You're switching things up. You've been in a really kind of fixed position in terms of your career. Maybe you did the same thing, same type of work for years and years and years now. It's just not doing it for you anymore. You want to switch things up. I see you doing that. I say that because the Wheel of Fortune is associated with a fixed sign. So that kind of gives me the impression of like being fixed and sort of set in your ways in terms of how you've made money in the past. And maybe you're looking at this in a different way. You're ready to make a change. Some of you left jobs and you're heading into new careers, and some of you are heading into entrepreneurship. I do see that whatever you initiate this month in terms of your finances, and particularly in the area of looking for expansion and growth and sort of more bang for your buck, like investments that really pay off and are, a valuable focus for you. I think that you're really going to see this stuff come in February, and you're going to make some good choices that are going to turn things in a very favorable direction for you. And I see you, letting up on your finances a little bit, maybe letting yourself have a little bit of fun, because you're not going to feel like so kind of like stuck in this place where you just feel like you have to be very mindful of every penny. Some of you have really had to kind of scrimp and save, and you've been trying to really balance things out. And I see that this is going to lighten up for you. You also might need to travel for some kind of interview or to take advantage of an opportunity that comes your way. I get this particularly for people who do any kind of online work or work that kind of puts them in the public eye. You might get some opportunity that comes through for you, and you'll need to like hop on a plane and, go and interview for this in person if you want to take advantage of it. I definitely think you should. It would definitely be in your favor. All right. Now, in the area of communication, this is where this is where a lot of work is needed. Okay, there's a lot of work needed here. We got Temperance in reverse. All right, we got the Knight of Swords in reverse. That's not good. All right, and we got the Tower in reverse. So I see that something is being exposed. All right, with the Tower in reverse, something is being illuminated. This might be something you personally don't want illuminated. In other words, it can be something that you didn't want anybody to know about that, you've been doing potentially. And then really sort of feeling like this exposure of this puts you in a compromised position. This just coming in, okay? This can also be the Tower is, this reckoning that comes, something that you weren't aware of before, some lie gets exposed, something you couldn't see before gets exposed. And I feel like, I don't know, I'm really getting the vibe with this Tower that it's sort of like self-directed. In other words, you take it very personally. And this could even be like, I knew it. Like maybe you had red flags in a situation, and you talked yourself out of it. There's something about this, that this energy of this Tower really throws you back on yourself with like this kind of like, I knew it energy. Like I shouldn't have done that. Or why did I make this choice? I feel that this is like a choice that's sort of coming back around the bend. It's something that you did a little bit more impetuously, I feel. If this could have been with like blocking somebody or cutting something off, ending something. Maybe you feel like you weren't balanced when you made this decision. We see this here with the Temperance in reverse. This is about not being in balance. I think maybe you acted out of a place that was very like impetuous, maybe you thought that you were charging forward in the right direction, but the place you were acting out of was a place that was, I feel activated is kind of what's coming through. You also could have had somebody come at you like this, and this really like threw you off, threw you out of balance. You were shocked to see this side of this person. It made you feel like you had to kind of like block their energy. You needed space from this person. Maybe it was their words, maybe it was their aggression, maybe this person was very cutting with their words. I mean, Knight of Swords in reverse is that's not a nice energy, to put it mildly. Okay, the words can cut, and the words cut really deep. Air sign energy connected with that. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius placements. All right. It's also been a big dance between Venus and Mars, Aries ruler, over the past year. That dance is going to continue to play out. So I also really see this as sort of that, since Libra energy comes in with that Knight of Swords, I see it as that Venusian energy, having a hard time sinking into the more vulnerable, receptive, like love, heart-centered space. Almost like having an energy of like cutting something off before it even has a chance to like develop and show what it's about, because of feeling like a fool so often in the past, trusting in something and having it, fall apart, and you not trusting your intuition when you spotted those red flags. I think you've been thinking about all this stuff, and there's some kind of communication that has you really got you out of balance. And I feel like the way to restore this balance is through communication. But what's in reversal gives us a clue, okay, about how that communication needs to be handled. I do think you're going to have an opportunity for this communication coming in this month. I do think there could be a tendency to pop off, to speak first and think about it later. And you want to avoid that, okay? Because we see to do that would be very imbalanced, right? So this is about you finding your balance, all right? It's about finding the middle ground, between two extreme polarities. So this may be somebody you're like, you have totally different views, you don't agree on something, you cannot get on the same page. And maybe you've continued to focus on what divides rather than what unites. So maybe it's about beginning the conversation point from what is the one thing that we do share? Where do we connect in this um, connection that we have with each other? And how can we communicate from this space and then talk about the difficult stuff where we're divided? Also be very patient in communication to think about your words. Don't just let words just like blurt out of your mouth. Also, don't fight what needs to be let go of, and don't fight what needs to be illuminated. I feel like this is a need for truth to really come out and to look at the reality and to be honest about it and not cling to holding stuff in, holding truth back, or truth by omission, or allowing somebody you're dealing with to do this with you. All right. Towers fall because they're built on false foundation. So I think on some level, you're dealing with some kind of dishonesty and there's some kind of truth telling that needs to come forward here. It may even be a truth you need to tell yourself, that you've been avoiding. Something hasn't been looked at here, okay? And maybe it's what was the cause of a tower falling in your life, and really being honest about that. Is there some kind of pattern that's playing out? I say this because temperance is in reverse. So that really shows that there's some kind of spiritual work to be done here. There's some kind of healing work to be done here. It's very important to balance the energies. So be mindful in your communications. I do think you got something coming back around the bend. I do think you're ready to communicate, but make sure you're communicating from a place of, at the end of the day, when all is said and done, you're going to feel at peace with the way you communicated, and that what you communicated is actually the truth of your heart, the truth of what you feel. Okay, so essential. Now on the home front, you had so much come up here. Okay, we got the Four of Pentacles, we have the Nine of Pentacles, we have the Page of Wands. That is fire sign collective, Aries. It's your energy, Leo and Sagittarius as well. We have the Eight of Pentacles. We have the Queen of Swords, okay? Big Libra card. It's also Gemini and Aquarius, but has very strong associations with Libra. We have the counterpart, okay, on the other side of that, the King of Swords, all right? Again, air sign placement. Looks like there's some kind of communication that needs to happen here. Maybe communication's been held back here. Maybe it's taken a long time for this communication with the Knight of Pentacles, all right? I think there's been a lot to consider, all right? We've got the Star energy here, and we have the Ten of Cups, all right? So let's get into it. I believe that some action is going to be taken on the home front, all right? This involves a communication around, let's work together, let's work together. We've done a lot of work on ourselves. I see that there is this energy of you've really been doing a lot of work on yourself. Maybe you've been enjoying spending time at home, taking care of yourself, nurturing yourself. Some of you have been really enjoying getting out into nature. You've been working on your coin. We know this. You've been growing your finances. It's a very central focus for you. You're feeling good. You're feeling more in your element. You're feeling secure in yourself. You're also like starting to focus on your health. I feel like you're taking some new actions, on the home front. Maybe you're also setting up like a home gym, just making it easy for you to make sure that you're showing up to take care of yourself. There's a big investment in self-care and what that means for you, and really just getting in your own element and building security. And I feel it's really like security on the home too. And a lot of it has to do with finances. This is something very, very important. And I see you're perhaps looking at work and how you're earning money. Some of you are really considering maybe doing some work from home. You're thinking about how you can start having more of a home-based business. Maybe you're looking at doing something online, especially with this King of Swords energy coming up. Really, like I'm feeling Aquarian energy, which makes me think of doing tech work, online work. Um, it looks like there's somebody here, and these two people need to put their heads together at the home front. That's what I feel. There's somebody you need to get on the same page with in terms of just making the household work, make it work so it's really empowering for both people. Or there's something pertaining to a house where you need to get on the same page with somebody to negotiate something where you can really feel like you're working together to create an environment that really supports both of you, okay? This could be somebody you've been involved with in the past. This could be also ironing something out with an ex, with that Queen of Swords, King of Swords energy. Sometimes that can be people that have had a split. So there could be some kind of agreement you're trying to come to also in just dividing up assets in terms of a home. If you're dealing with, somebody that you were married to and things ended there. I think maybe it's going to take some time, to really get a foundation laid down here to get an agreement ironed out. But I do see that the work is willing to be done. Something will manifest here that will feel very beneficial. It creates a new feeling of stability, a new beginning financially, new beginning on the home front. And we see that after I feel like some cleansing communication with the star there. And again, this gets initiated in Aquarius season. Aquarius may factor strongly into the situation in some way, okay? But I do feel like you've been through the worst of it, all right? And things are going to start to get a lot brighter, a lot better. With this sun here in the star card, maybe you'll really see, things getting a lot better in the summertime. Looks like a lot of happiness, all right? We see 10 of Cups, all right? This is something really to celebrate. And we see maybe there was a storm. Maybe things have been difficult at home. Maybe, there's been conflict, or maybe things just weren't working at home. Maybe, things just felt like they were falling apart at home. There was no stability, no real foundation. Something comes about here, all right? It's very fulfilling. It's happiness. It's, family togetherness. It's being on the same page and feeling really good about that. It's the promise on the other side of the difficulties you've been through. So it looks like there's some kind of renewal happening on the home front. And some of you, this could be like finding your dream home, maybe creating your home to be the space you've always wanted it to be. You could be doing a little like interior design, decorating at home. Some of you may even be looking at moving to a totally different locale, okay? But it looks like things start really moving in a positive direction this month in terms of the home. Now, in terms of romance, we have the Three of Wands coming in with the Judgment, okay? It's interesting because something's coming back to life. All right. So I feel like romance is coming back to life. Maybe this is also in relation to somebody you've had dealings with in the past. Judgment can sometimes be, an old love coming back around. There's another go around we do have with the Three of Wands. That's like the energy is coming in. Okay. So I feel like you're going to have an opportunity for a fresh start with somebody that you know from the past. Okay. I feel like there's a past connection here with this person. Could this be somebody that you weren't romantically involved with in the past and was just a friend? Sure. I feel there is a past connection. So it's somebody that you haven't been with for a while, or you haven't communicated with them for a while, or maybe you split up and they're coming back around, but there's some opportunity to revive a connection that's coming in. I do believe you're going to hear from an old love, and what you do with that is up to you. But it looks like that's kind of front and center for you in the area of romance. Now, in the area of work and routine, we have the Nine of Wands and it's in reverse. Okay. So we know your energy has really been blocked up. You've been trying to make up your mind about certain things. You've also been blocking out other people's energy and you've been kind of keeping to yourself. This Nine of Wands is like, all right, you can't just like stay at this post any longer. It's time to shake up your routine. You need to get things moving. You can't sit here feeling like the wounded warrior, like I've been through so much stuff. I don't even know what I want to do, where you kind of move into that sort of just depressive state where you lack motivation because you're feeling sorry for yourself about maybe challenges that you've been through, or maybe you've just really been working really hard. You're exhausted, and you just have not wanted to take any actions forward. But I see it's time to create a routine that better supports you. Maybe you should start focusing first and foremost on what you can do to generate more energy so you're not feeling so worn out. How can you move yourself into a more confident space? Sometimes taking up strength training can be great for that. It really can feel empowering. And to exercise, just get the energy moving, especially Aries, you're a fire sign. So that fire, if you internalize it too long, if you stay in place too long, you stew on things and you get in your head about things, you can become very agitated, all right? And that can create a pressurized internal environment, which creates stress and inflammation and all kinds of stuff going wonky in your physical body. And a lot of times, if you can just like get the energy moving, get it out, if you can get your body moving, I'm really picking up exercise for you. You need to blow off this frustration. You need to blow off the steam. You need to, rediscover your confidence by connecting with that part of you that, um, you know, feels good, feels good in your skin. I feel like, just taking care of your body, it will empower you, and you're going to feel more confidence and you're going to get that excess fire energy moving out. So, you can start to free your energy up because if you're really struggling with something, if you've been grappling with something, if you've been feeling overworked and you're really like kind of burning the candle at both ends, once you like let that energy out and you start kind of pouring into yourself, giving back to yourself, and you start feeling that balance like that, there's that temperance energy again, that really frees up your energy in new ways, in creative ways. It's amazing how suddenly you'll know, oh, this is exactly what I need to do once you get the energy to move. But when it's inside of you, it just churns everything up. Can't see anything clearly. So I feel like you need some kind of self-care, like involving exercise to release your frustration, will be very good for you. And also look at where you can maybe like give yourself some rest, just to opportunity to have things a little bit more balanced instead of doing things in like spurts where you push really hard, and push, and then you burn out, and then you're just like nothing happens for months because that's like one step forward, two steps back. It's just like this dance. You're not really getting anywhere with that. All right. So this is about really coming to a place of balance with your schedule too, and creating a routine that really supports you and accounts for your need for rest and to take it easy and to have pleasure. But also, get the frustration out, get the stress out of your body so you can really focus and hone in. So when you are focused on your work, you're super effective. All right. And you can really be in your power with that and unleash your ambitions and make some magic happen. Okay. In the area of love relationships, I mean, we got, some combative energy going on. This is also competitive energy. This is too many cooks in the kitchen. There's too many people up in the business of this relationship. It's just a mess. All right. There's something that needs to be ironed out here. This can be too many people giving their opinions about your romantic situation. This can be actual arguments within the family that's causing disruption in your relationship. This can be too many people involved. This can be side pieces acting up. This can be drama. And there's something that you need to be aware of. Again, the advice is to remember to find that balancing point. You got to find the points of connection and not focus on what the argument is. Where is the point of division? Where is the point where you can connect, where you can get on the same page? Once you can get connected on the same page about something, then you do have the ability to start to unravel the conflict. Okay. I think that there's a need to keep people out of your business in terms of your relationships, and you might need to lay down some boundaries. It looks like there's a lot of interfering energy here. I'm not liking this energy at all. It's not a good energy. A lot of arguments, a lot of people who just can't agree on anything. And so instead of any kind of moving forward, it's just total gridlock. This also shows there's a lot of passion here too. Okay. So this can also be like, maybe somebody had, I don't know why this is coming through, but maybe somebody has a pattern in the relationship where like they like to stir everything up and create some kind of crisis situation because then they like to have that makeup sex, right? I mean, something needs to be resolved because that's not any way to move through any kind of connection, um, any kind of supportive connection. Like it's really hard to develop intimacy when you got this kind of action going on. And I also believe there's some kind of like argument going on within the connection. You can't agree on one central point. It's a deal breaker. Okay. So try to bring the heart into it. Try to balance this out. Try to get a little bit out of the ego, and look at it from the other person's side. Because with the Five of Wands, we got a lot of egos, we got a lot of competition, we got a lot of opinions, we got a lot of interference. And so this is something that needs to really be addressed, all right? And then in the area of, let's see, in sex and sex and death and transformation. I mean, I think that, I think this might be partially what's going on in terms of relationships. There's a lot of communication here with the Eight of Wands. We got the King of Wands here. Okay, that's your energy. We got the Two of Pentacles and we got the Sun. All right. So this to me is like something is a little out of balance. All right. And I feel like what's out of balance is in the emotional realm. All right. There's a need to transform the way you connect emotionally. Okay. Something here keeps making a scenario where it's like two ships passing in the night. This can be a juggling energy as well with the Two of Pentacles. It can be a wiffle waffling energy, wanting something one day, not wanting it the next. It's very non-committal. King of Wands is, I mean, when you're in your energy, it's a very independent energy too. This is also all fire sign energy. So you could be dealing with somebody that has a strong fire sign placement, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. I do feel like there's some communication coming in, all right, perhaps an opportunity to travel and an opportunity to hook up, okay? Could potentially be with a Leo with the Sun coming out here, all right? Somebody has a strong Leo placement in their chart. You may be thinking of traveling to see this person. There's something here, though, where there's like a juggling energy. I'm getting the vibe of, this is a situation that's been on hold because somebody, just can't make up their mind. So it's always like two ships passing in the night. There's some kind of communication coming in around this, I believe, and there's something for you to iron out here. There's some kind of decision you need to make about if you're going to move forward with this or not. But I mean, I do feel like there's an opportunity for like sexual hookup there for sure with the Eight of Wands coming in. And I feel like the passions are there. Maybe you feel like the passions are kind of something that feels a little out of balance. It is Scorpio's house. So that is sort of like shadow energy. This might be something you're weighing out and grappling with this month, some element of it, some element where it's not connecting and you feel like it needs to be transformed. And then in the area of travel, we have the Six of Pentacles, and we have the Knight of Cups. And I mean, to come right after that, it's very interesting because travel got brought up there. Look, the Six of Pentacles, this person is giving to two different people. Okay. So I'm sticking with this. I feel like there's some kind of element involved with travel. There's a desire to move forward. Someone's making an emotional offer. And there's a desire to move forward. There is some kind of give and take energy here. But for some people, this person wants to have you come and see them and connect with them, but they're giving to two people, and only you can decide if you want to move forward to that with that. For others of you, you're in a relationship, maybe you have an opportunity to go on a trip with somebody, a romantic trip. You get an invitation to do something romantic, but maybe there's some kind of concern here about, the finances. Do I really have the finances to do this right now? Maybe because you're kind of like giving finances to help support others. You're not sure if you want to move forward with this trip. There's something you're considering here. It has something to do with a romantic interest, okay? That's coming forward very strongly. Yeah, it might be because the crossing energy with it is the Three of Swords. So I think this is somebody you've been separated from. And maybe they want to work with you again, like they're trying to advance towards you. They want to work with you again. They're maybe inviting you to go on some kind of trip. Maybe there's been a delay. This could have been because of finances, or it could have been because somebody was giving to two different people. They wouldn't like get off the fence and make up their mind. This could be somebody that you were romantically involved with in the past. You want to go out on a little, love jaunt with them or something, and an opportunity comes forward. But I think you're trying to decide, do I really want to reciprocate with this? And this might be because you're already kind of involved with another person, and it would put you in a position of giving to two people. There's something that you're weighing out here, something that you're trying to decide on. Okay. And then in the area of career, public image, I mean, there's something that's hidden, and it has to do with the Queen of Wands. Okay, so this is a romantic interest, all right? It's the counterpart to the King of Wands. This is also Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. This could be somebody that has some kind of metaphysical work they do. This could be somebody who, is involved in the occult with the high priestess there, somebody who's very focused on their spirituality. This could also be a connection that's secret, okay? Something that's hidden, all right? Something you don't know about, but maybe you intuit. I feel like this coming up in the area of public image and work, career, like how you're viewed, and your brand. Like some of you are starting businesses, you're getting into some kind of metaphysical career. Maybe you're thinking of becoming a reader, or maybe you're thinking of opening up a shop. I see this being very successful for you with that Queen of Wands energy. I feel like you're a very dynamic person. You have a certain charisma. I think you'll find a lot of interest in what you're doing, and there's growth there. I'm saying that because I noticed the sunflower with that Queen of Wands, and it reminds me of this lovely imagery that Anthony brought in on the hedge once, where he was talking about how many seeds there are in one of those sunflower heads, and how many flowers that can grow. So I think you're getting your appreciation. Maybe you're coming out of hiding. Maybe people are finally seeing what you're doing. You're being acknowledged for your work. You're starting to get some recognition and some growth in that direction. That's really positive. I also see that some of you may deal with some kind of secret being revealed, and it kind of comes out publicly. And maybe this is something that it wasn't so secret for you. I feel like you intuited this, but maybe light gets shed on this, and it gets shed sort of publicly. So maybe there's some kind of announcement, something comes out, and it garners a lot of attention. And this could be good too. This could be you've been working on something under wraps and you're just now getting ready to debut it, and it'll be very successful. In terms of friend circle, yeah, there's something going on in your social circle and it really needs to be cleaned up. There's something that needs to be reviewed here. It's a mess. Okay. We got the 5 of Cups in reverse. We got the King of Cups, water sign energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio in reverse. We have the Hierophant in reverse, which is not good. That is a definite no. We got the World in reverse, also not good. When a cycle is meant to close, you got to close it, okay? And we got the Chariot in reverse. Like, this should not be moved forward on. There is a need to let go, stop clinging to an association. This could be somebody that has strong water sign placement in their chart, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. This is an emotionally manipulative person, okay? This is a person who abuses their power. And there's some kind of interference here, and it's third-party dynamic when we're looking at that 5 of Cups, okay? And yet this situation is still being clung to despite the fact that it's causing a lot of problems. This could be somebody that you had a falling out with, and they just won't let you go. They won't let it go. Maybe you've told this person no. They won't accept no for an answer. They're still clinging. And there's something you need to make clear here about, I'm not moving forward with this. And this is coming forward very strongly. There's a mess to clean up there. It's caused a lot of problems. All right. And then in the 12th house, coming up as a crossing influence, we have the Lovers. You have a big choice to make this month. All right. Very important. All right, you are at the crossroads. Yes, the Lovers can do with a soulmate, certainly. It can be in relation to love, a choice you're making in love, but it's always an important choice that comes from the soul, and it doesn't necessarily have to do with love. But I feel like with what's coming up in your read, I feel like you're trying to choose between 1 and 2 paths in love, or perhaps 1 or 2 people. And maybe somebody resurfaces from the past. And this is what throws complication into the mix for those of you who are already involved in a relationship. Or perhaps you're choosing to reprise something that you let go of in the past. And this creates something to really weigh up and make up your mind about. But this is coming forward very strongly for you. A very important choice that you need to make. And it is a karmic time. Be mindful about the choice you make, because the repercussions of it are going to be with you for a long time. You're going to make some choice, though, that sets you off on a brand new adventure with the Rider here. And when you get to the end of that adventure, you're going to find that place where you belong, that place called home. You might be going out in the world to kind of find yourself first in order to make this decision, all right? But I feel like there's some important choice to make, and it's a choice of the heart, you know? This may be a choice between your head and your heart, but I do feel like there's some destiny at play here, and you have an opportunity to spin fate into destiny. But it has everything to do with how you choose to move and whether you're going to move consciously. Okay, again, home factoring very strongly here, bottom of the deck energy. We're going to get an overarching theme card for you to close this read for Aries Collective. I keep getting there's no place like home. There's no place like home. I think you're really just wanting to find that place where you feel at home, you know, that place where you belong, you know, and maybe you haven't really felt that for a long time. Ooh, okay. Yeah, something hasn't been looked at. Where did it go? Oh my goodness. Where did it go? Okay, there it is. We got the spaceship, okay? You've been trying to figure out which way to go. You've been trying to find your way. You're about to find out. We got 34 energy here. That's 7. You got spiritual aid coming in, all right? Expect some downloads. Expect some intuition to guide you. Expect a brand new cast of characters. Expect soulmates to align and opportunities to travel and go way out there. But one thing's for certain, you're starting